Hello, today on breakfast, lunch, and dinner cooking. It's early in the morning and I wanted to show you how I'm going to be doing my sourdough sandwich bread and some homemade croutons. So here we go. Okay, first of all, take out my bubbly starter. Look at this beautiful starter I put out last night with probably a half a cup of starter and about a cup of flour and, I don't know, just enough water to get it so it was nice. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 4 cups of my organic flour. And a tablespoon of my plain salt. They say the plain salt does better with the starter. And this is the different part. There's my oven for my croutons. The difference between regular sourdough and sandwich sourdough is I'm going to be adding a 1/4 cup of olive oil. And that makes it a little bit softer for you. And then I'm going to be adding, I'm going to start out with a cup. Usually I put a cup and a 1/4, but since I put the 1/4 cup of oil, I'm going to just go with that. And then I'm going to mix that all up. I did a sourdough bread video in the very beginning of my channel. If you want to see how to make the crunchy sourdough, the round artesian looking, you know, I think I am going to go with the cup and a 1/4 of water like I normally do. Okay. And after I get this all kind of a rough mix on it, you set it aside and you just let it rest for about an hour. And then you start your stretch and folds. And I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. I'm going to cover it back up. And now I'm going to show you how to do my croutons, my homemade croutons. Okay. What you want to do is, this is the rest of my sourdough bread. Just my little bits and pieces that I had left. Because when you cut sourdough, it's not like a slicing machine, you know. So what I'm going to do, I take these pieces that I had left and I'm going to cut them into nice squares. This was my loaf that I made in my Dutch oven. Just like so. Throw them on your cookie sheet, and when I get these all cut up, I'll get right back to you. Okay, I got my croutons all cut up, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of olive oil to them. And I don't know if I'm going to use all this. We'll see. You want them to be crunchy. And I'm going to try and eat them a cup. And then you want to just mix them all up. like so. It just depends on how much oil you want to put on according to how much bread you have. And I'm going to put a little tiny bit more. Now what the heck? Okay, mix that all in. Okay, and then what you want to do, you want to add about I'd say a half a teaspoon of salt. And just put that all over it. And then some pepper. And then I put some garlic powder. Maybe, I don't know, half a teaspoon. And then I take Italian seasoning. And maybe, I don't know, half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Just sprinkle it up with it. And then I'm going to toss that around again. Yeah, I think that 1/4 cup of oil was fine. You don't put a lot of them on your salad when you make it. Or whatever. I made a tomato soup on my channel. And you want to put just a few croutons on the top. Okay, I'm going to bake this on 250 for about an hour. And I'm going to be stirring them probably every 15 minutes. And I'll be back. Okay, this is my first stir after 15 minutes. And they're starting to crunch up a little bit. And remember, the degrees is 250 degrees. And I wanted to tell you, I had all these little ends and stuff frozen. I thawed them out, and this is what I'm doing with them. I don't waste anything. So, and I'm going to do this a couple more times, and I'll show you the croutons at the end. Okay, I'm going to start on my first set of stretch and folds for my sandwich bread, sourdough sandwich bread. I'm wetting my hand, and I'm going to start incorporating all this flour in here so I don't waste any of it. This is my organic flour that I found from, I'm going to wet my hand again. My organic flour I found from Walmart. You really, when you're making this for your family, if you can find the organic, you really want to. And that's my first stretch and fold. And I'm going to be doing this 2 more times. And then I'm going to be letting it rest for a couple hours. And I'll show you what we got. Okay, this is my second stretch and fold. I wasn't going to show you the whole thing because I did do sourdough bread on episode 6, but I decided to show you. So this is my second stretch and fold. And you can see how much more stretchy it's become. And I want to thank my friend Mary Ann. She gave me, I guess, a 100-year-old starter that she had bought, and I mixed it in with mine, and oh my gosh, you did see the bubbles. It's amazing starter. So anyway, I am going to do the third stretch and fold and then let it rest for a couple hours, and then I'm going to show you how to form it and put it in the pan. Okay, it's been a couple hours that I let this rest, and I wanted to show you my croutons. Here's the crunch. So they're all cooled off now, and what I'm going to do is put them in a Ziploc baggie, and they last in the cupboard for a long, long time. But just make sure you let them totally cool before you do that. All right, so now I've let this rest for a couple hours, And I'm going to butter the pan real quick. Then I'm going to butter my hands. And I'm going to take the bread. Try not to, when you're lifting it out of the bowl, try not to bust up all your air bubbles. Try to be gentle with it. If you can get it out of the bowl. All right, there we go. And just be real gentle with it. And just be tucking it under. Get it kind of smooth and elastic looking. And just put it in your pan. And now I'm going to let this rise, probably let this rise to, I don't know, maybe a couple inches higher than it is now. I am going to pinch a couple of these real big bubbles. But it should be rose, I don't know, in an hour or two. And then I'll show you, I'm going to put it in my, I think a 450 degree oven and bake it for maybe, I don't know. I'm going to have to see. I have never made sourdough loaf bread yet before, so bye. Okay, I've preheated my oven to 450 and I'm going to put this in the oven, and once I put it in the oven, I'm going to turn it down to 375. Let me show you how much it's rose. I'm pretty happy with that. And because it's going to puff up more. And anyway, I'm turning it down to 375 and I'm going to bake it for 45 to 50 minutes. And I'll show you what we got when it's done. My bread's coming out of the oven. It looks wonderful. Look at that beautiful bread. What I'm going to do now, look at that perfect loaf of bread. I am going to let this rest for probably an hour. And I am going to brush it with a little bit of butter, just so it stays a little bit soft. I decided to make this sandwich bread for you guys because I want to show you, I'm going to be making some really cool sandwiches with it. And anyway, I'm going to let that rest for about an hour, and then we're going to slice it. I am going to be freezing it. I freeze it on a cookie sheet, and then I bag it up. And anyway, I'll be back. Okay, my bread is all cooled off pretty much. Look at that beautiful loaf of sandwich bread. And now I'm going to cut it. It's been an hour. And I want to be kind of gentle with it. But look at that beautiful bread. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try my mom's bread knife. See how that goes. That's better. And you just want to be gentle with it. And you don't want to cut it too thick because you want to be able to make a nice sandwich with it, and you don't want it to be just a bread sandwich. So look at this beautiful, beautiful bread. So what I'm going to do now is I've got it on my, I'm going to put it on my parchment paper, and I'm going to freeze it flat, and then I'm going to bag it up. And that way I've got nice fresh bread all the time, right out of the freezer. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my sandwich bread, sourdough sandwich bread. And, oh, and my croutons. Got them all bagged up, and they last a long time too. And thank you so much for watching. And remember, there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. And love the Lord with all your heart. Bye now.